What's happening, fight fans? Welcome back to the MMA Mindset. Another interview, but this time it's not Rise and Conquer for once. I'm here with one half of the main event of the Cage Steel card, Adam Bramhald. Thank you very much for joining me, Adam.
You're welcome. It's good to
Oh,
be here.
yeah, I was like I said, mate, I was really excited to get you on because when you see your record and obviously how many fights you've had and how successful you've been, you're kind of one of the I say unsung heroes of UK MMA at the moment, and I think that's kind of a bit testament to the layoff that you've had. How are you feeling after such a long layoff, and are you excited to get back in the cage?
Um, After that, I've done a lot of things to improve, like the way I do things, like with the layoff. I've not sat on my ass and just done nothing. I've worked on certain things in my life, and I've got a lot stronger and stuff like that. So it's not been a complete like waste of time. Like I do feel coming back now, I am a a lot better and stronger, like for it. Because I was unable to do any grappling for two fights prior to having the break. So it's been something that I wanted to just get right before I took any more hard fights.
Yeah, definitely. Like saying there, the 2 years it's only a layoff if you don't do anything with it.
Yeah, yeah. So like I don't feel like I'm gonna be, I've been training I've had this date in mind for 12, I think I started 13 weeks out from the day. I've had that in my mind since then. So like I'm not gonna feel any I don't tend to feel anything when I'm fighting anyway, like emotions wise, nerves or anything like that. So yeah, I think I'll be fine. There is that element of ring rust, but I mean, I think ring rust, you notice that more when you're sparring and stuff. Like you get it out of the way. And maybe the occasional feel a little bit different to me, but no, I'm good to go. You say I'm looking forward to it. It's at that point now. I'm ready to get out of the way.
Yeah, I know. Like I said, you've it's been a long time coming for you, and I've been following this journey for you on social media and stuff, and it's good to see you getting back in there and defending the title, which is back where you belong, the top of a card for for a gold strap. It's kind of where you belong.
Yeah,
Do you feel like this is back to where you belong now, and you just like I said, just back to it, and you can't wait to kind of get started and
yeah.
get out of the way?
I want to. Yeah, I just feel like I need to pick up where I left off. Sort of, I've won my last 10, and where we're at in the world of MMA, it's like it's come at a really bad time to have this time off. But like I say, I think I've done the right thing. I'm hoping it pays off in the long run, for the end of this year and next year. So yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I'm looking forward to it. I think quite a lot of people are looking forward to seeing you get back. Obviously training out of AVT, a gym that's close to my heart. I could see AVT from where I grew up in Morley. I could see it out my bedroom window and that, and yeah, so a place that's kind of close to my heart. How have they been preparing you for this and like helping you through the last couple of years?
Um, I mean, me and Danny, Danny's the thing is with me now, like I'm at that stage where I'm always going to know what I'm good at, and with AVT, it's like I'm probably the most senior fighter there now. And so it's just about kind of I've been doing a lot of work with our up and comers and amateurs and stuff like that, and just like at the same time getting fit and sharp and ready. Like preparation hasn't really been any different, except I've done a little bit more wrestling and stuff like that. I've kind of not moved away from the striking. I've still done that, but I just use that to get sharp nowadays. Like I've been Thai boxing for 12 years. I don't need to constantly be Thai boxing.
Yeah, definitely. Just speaking about kind of amateurs that you've been helping come through, one guy I just want to quickly mention to you, a guy who I really like. He's a good lad. He's a good kid. Malik Bazahal. He's a
Yeah.
special kid. Him.
Yeah, he's become one of the guys that I spar with quite a lot. He's brilliant. Yeah, he is really. It could be like off the top of my head, like we've got him, and then you look at people around the country like George Staines,
Yeah.
even like Charlie Lynch Spencer. We've got as well. Like those three, like off the top of my head, are some of the best amateurs I've ever seen. Like they are really good.
Yeah, this scene, like from when you first started, like to how it is now for the amateurs coming up, just how kind of different is it for because these guys are like are performing on shows now and it's all big flashing lights, smoke
Yeah.
screens, fire cannons and stuff. It's changed so much obviously since you started.
I mean, even when I started the MMA, sort of, it was a lot older than it was when, like, I thought it was young when I started, but like when I was like there and I was started training with Danny and Jay Furnace and people like that, it's like shit, they've been around for ages.
Yeah.
Like, but now, yeah, like they start. I think I really noticed a change in the amateur scene when I turned pro. Like that's when they started doing like the IMAF stuff and all that. That's when they started doing that just after I turned pro. So I kind of missed out on stuff like that. But I didn't mind. Like it's just now like the amateurs are better than 6 fight pros. Like
Exactly.
I think you're using Malik an example. I think he'd beat at the flyweight. I think he'd beat like most 5 or 6 fight pros.
Yeah, definitely. Like I competed a couple of times when I was younger, and obviously tried like quite a lot of interclubs with like Muay Thai and stuff like that. And my partner always asks me now, "Oh, why don't you get back into it?" And I'm always thinking to myself, because I don't have the time. These amateurs now train like pros, so I'm
Yeah,
gonna
they
go
train
in
more than
there.
me. They train way more than me, these amateurs.
I'm gonna
Honestly.
go in there and get slapped about by some 18-year-old kid, and then
They're
I'm
there
just
every day. Twice a day, like morning sessions, pro classes and everything. They're there every day. They're,
yeah, it's mad. So, but it's good for the UK scene. I'm buzzing for
yeah,
it
definitely.
to come up. Just obviously speaking about your opponent Daniel Mello, how much do you kind of know about him?
Not a lot. I don't really, like I've said before, like I kind of just know exactly what I'm good at. And I'm also really like, as a fighter, I think my fight IQ is really good. Like I'm okay going in there and seeing how it goes. I mostly assume that I'm the best on the feet in the fight. And even if I'm not, like I say, my IQ, I'll get through it that way. This lad apparently is a professional Thai boxer as well, which makes it interesting from a stylistic matchup point of view. But yeah, so I'm open minded about it. I haven't really looked. I think I watched one video of him shadow boxing. I thought, oh, that's okay.
Yeah,
I just looked at his record, who's beat him, who he's beat, and what dance he is. That's all I looked at.
yeah. I think a lot of fighters now they kind of leave that stuff up to their coaches and that, and they'll
Yeah,
notice something and then they'll tell you if there's something that you specifically need to
yeah,
prepare for. Especially someone like Danny as well. Like the lad's a veteran coach and he's
yeah.
one of the best in the game at the moment. Do you have a vision of how you see the fight playing out?
Do you know? I said this to someone the other day. It's like one of those fights where I know I'm going to win, but I haven't figured out how yet. I haven't like decided. I'm going to start like probably on fight week is when I'll start actually visualizing how how it's going to start, what's going to go where. I've got some idea. I've
Yeah,
got
I remember you saying you had something special planned or something special in mind. Have you got any sort of, can you elaborate on what that was, or you kind of wanted to keep that under wraps?
I don't care. He doesn't speak English anyway, I don't think. But it's when it comes to Thai boxing, right? Kicking sets special things up to counter from. Like, especially for me, like somebody kicks me, it becomes an opportunity, I will do better with people that do stuff like that. Like that's your chance to land something really cool. Like if you can catch a kick, stuff like that, that's where you get the highlight reel stuff. But
Yeah,
that's what I'll say. Like that's what I alluded to the other day. But
I'm going to be looking for that, like that catch sweep and then the two such kick or something like that.
yeah,
Then that's
yeah.
what I'm going to be looking out for. Should you obviously be victorious in this fight, you'll be 13-2, which is ridiculous record. What do you think is going to be next for you? I know PFL are making a bit of a splash in Europe now. Cage Warriors are always looking for new talent.
Yeah. We're open minded. We've not got anything yet. I mean, we're gonna, we need to see what's right for me, financially as well as opportunity wise. Like I love the look of these up and coming promotions like European. I've seen another one today that looks amazing. Like, shows like Octagon, stuff like that. PFL, yes, great. Like I want to be looking at these shows. Like I want to get I want to fight in different places rather than just in England. That's one of my goals is to travel and then uh when beat this guy and then beat someone else and then hopefully we're back to where we were ranked before and then see if we can get a call up somewhere really good.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be long for you to kind of get back to where you were thought of before. I think while some people in MMA have short memories, I think a lot of people who follow a sport they have long memories and they know exactly what you're capable of.
Yeah.
you've spent a long time at Cage Steel, like so many fights at Cage Steel. How much do you kind of owe them to giving you the platform for your career progression?
Enough, yeah. I mean, like it goes both ways, doesn't it? I
Yeah.
mean, I tend to help them quite a bit with fighting on the show as well. Like I bring a lot of people, so it's one of those like I've always enjoyed fighting there, and we was able to get good fights, um, and get good fights and earn some money without having to go all over the country where yeah, I mean, it's not like I've been tied to Cage Steel. It's just, that's local to me, and it's worked out well. Like I love fighting. Like I want to fight abroad, to be honest. Like I like having a home crowd, but I love going abroad and fighting or going away from home and fighting too. But like I say, I've got a mortgage to pay. I'm not just fighting for no reason. I've got a lot to do in life as well as just turn up and fight someone for minimal reward.
Yeah,
So
definitely. And more and more now the talk about fighter pay, no matter where it is on the scene. Like I interviewed Luke Riley, Cage Warriors featherweight. I interviewed him after his last fight, and he put on an unbelievable fight, and he was complaining about the Cage Warriors pay. So I think
you'd be
every
surprised, mate. I'll talk to you another time about it, but you'd be surprised.
I've chatted to a few people and a few people at Cage Warriors who were like top of it. Obviously, I don't want to burn my bridges because I work for Cage Warriors on the side as well. But we'll chat about that later on. But obviously, you've gone nearly 6 years now without a loss. I know you've had that 2 years in between that break. What do you kind of attribute that to? Just the whole purple. Well, it's not even a purple patch anymore. It's just your career.
Um, yeah, I mean, it's sort of like it came from I was 2-2, and then I had a few fights that I won a couple, and then it was like a turning point after that where I just started approaching things a little bit differently. It was like you get like I had kind of a mental block after my first pro loss. Like before that, I just kind of lost my head with fighting. Like I just lost like all belief in myself before it, and I got injured, and that's what I got injured, and I was just like I should have pulled out, and I didn't end up pulling out, and I thought, and I was just there to basically I felt like I was there to lose. Then I felt amazing for the next fight, which I lost in a stupid way, which was frustrating. And then it just took a while to get my confidence back and self belief. And then after that, like we've had a good run of like decent performances in that. There was one fight I had in Sweden, and that was like I think that was before. Yeah, I think I was about 6-2 at that point. And that was like the fight that thought, shit, yeah, I've still got it, like I've still got that fortitude to go through a tough 3-round fight against a really good guy.
Yeah, and
It
like I
was after
said,
that, I've not really felt any doubt for any fight since.
yeah, exactly, and it shows in kind of the success that you've had. And with Daniel Mello, you stated on Instagram that you're not taking this lad lightly. You
No,
know
I'm
he's
not.
going to
No.
be tough, and he's going to be a hard fight. Was it important for you to come back and fight someone who was of a really good level?
Yeah, I mean, Dom said this to me the other day. He was like, "Do you want us to get a fight?" Well, he didn't say it to me. He said, "This is what he said today." He said, Do you want to try and get a fight that he's gonna win? Like, obviously, we want to win, but like, do you want to try and get him a fight that is on the easier side of hard?" And Daniel like, "No, that's no good to us. We need to get a good fight and get straight back in." And I just basically, when it comes to fighters, I tend to just do what Danny says. Like,
I say that all the time.
he's the same as me. He just looks at record. He's like, "Yeah, fight him. He'll be fine." That's what he
Yeah,
does.
I hear this all the time now. It's like the fighters don't really have too much say in like who they're fighting anymore. They kind of just trust their coaches.
Yeah, he sends me him, and I just say most of the time I'll just say, "What do you think?" And he'll be like, "Yeah." Like that's normally the end of the conversation.
He's like, yeah, yeah, Sam, which one do you think? And then he just kind of tells you, and
Yeah,
then three months later you're in there scrapping them.
yeah.
So yeah, literally. And then obviously just before I kind of let you go, mate, how does I like to ask this, how does like celebration look for you after a fight?
I normally just go out and get pissed, to be honest, for about a week. No, I mean, obviously it depends on the fight, but yeah, I mean, it's a little bit different this time because I don't live with all the people that I grew up with and that anymore. But I like to have a bit of time with. I like to try and see everybody that went. You know, like at some point over the next week or so, I like to go and see anyone that went to watch the fight. And just try have a beer with them and stuff like that. But I've got quite a busy guy. Like even like you take training out of the occasion, I'm busy anyway with everything. Like I work full time still. I've got 3 dogs. It's a lot of work. Like so, I'd like to just even like to just sit at home, like like. But I like to celebrate with the people that are there, and then I like to try and like see different people and that. It used to be like you'll see a lot of fighters still doing it now where they just like go off the rails for a month and just get so big. And yeah, now like I'm just like I'm more invested in like long-term sort of health and stuff like that. So I'll probably manage like a week off and then I'll just go back and hit the gym. Depends how my body is like, obviously, but try work on getting stronger again and stuff like that between each fight.
Yeah, just elaborating on what you've said there. I've seen people like have a fight one weekend and they've been in unbelievable shape, and then I've seen
Yeah,
them about 3 weeks later like where they're cornering at a card, and
so bad for you.
Are you the same person?
Yeah,
Like,
I used to do it. Yeah, it's you grow out of it, hopefully.
yeah, well, like I said, it's like Paddy Pimlet, he's not really grown out of it yet, but yeah, well, that's proof in the pudding that sometimes he can make it work, but you just don't know how long you're going to
Yeah,
be able to
yeah,
make it work for.
that's it. Yeah, there'll come a time where you just whatever. For me, with stuff like that, is more like you don't want like say I've had this whatever nearly 2 years out. I'm actually in the best shape I've ever been in, and I was in the best shape I've ever been in before I started this camp. I've been I've been eating a certain way. I've been lifting weights and stuff like that to get physically really well for when something comes. Like there's a little bit less sort of on the I wasn't running and doing as much conditioning, but I was still doing bits like that. So it's actually been quite easy to jump straight back into a camp. And I think you want to move away from having the first 3 weeks of your camp just losing weight when you should be training really hard.
Yeah, definitely. You just don't get as much rounds in and stuff
Yeah,
like that, and it's kind of just it becomes a diet camp, not like an actual
that's
training
it.
camp.
I did that for loads of fights. First pro like all my pro fights like up to a certain period. I did that.
Yeah,
And
well,
it's
like I said,
being miserable because you starve yourself. You can't like have anything that you like as like a mental release. Like for me, like it gets to a Saturday after I've trained whatever 10, 12 times a week, I like to have a nice beer or two, you know what I mean? Like so it's if you take that out all the way through, you don't want to get up on Monday morning at 6 o'clock and go running, you know what I mean? Like it's different.
no, you need to enjoy the process, and
Yeah.
looks like you've got it down to a teammate, and I'm really really excited to see you come back, and excited to see kind of the improvements that gone through over the past couple of years. But make sure you tune into this fight, main event, Cage Steel, 9th of September. It's going to be an absolute spectacle from what Adam's been saying. But no, thank you very much for kind of joining me today, mate.
You're welcome, mate. Yeah, my
Yeah,
pleasure.
not a problem. Get it posted. We'll get it on, get it all tagged in. Like I said, go follow Adam on Instagram if you don't already. And like I said, just make sure you tune in. That fight comes September 9th.